Everyone, it's Vicky back with another alcohol ink painting. So I start with a piece of paper and a lot of different colors of alcohol ink, and I just throw it on there, and I use my little squeegee tool and I put it on there. With this one, I also used a metallic color, which is that silver. It didn't work out so great, but that's okay. Those little dots that you're seeing are this little stamper tool that I have, and they kind of make some different texture. So with all of these paintings, I start with a random background. I have no idea what it's going to look like, and I have no idea what animal I'm going to put into the background. I just let the background become what it's going to become, and then I look at it and I try and get a feel for what animal would look good in there. So with this one, the background, so much lavender, and I don't know, it just seemed very fairy tale-ish to me. So I thought a little fawn would be so adorable in there. Now, I kind of broke one of my rules. Usually, I guess I don't have rules, but usually I use the background colors and put those into the animal. But in this one, I felt like it needed the brown. So the fawn, the brown of the fawn, isn't really found in that background, but I put it on anyway. But I also use those background colors to kind of mix with that brown. So I didn't take away a lot of the ink. I just kind of blocked out some of the images, but I didn't take away a lot of it so that the ink that's on the paper can mix with that brown and give it a sense of unity. So I'm using just isopropyl alcohol on Q-tips and on my paintbrush to take away ink and move inks around. And then I'm using alcohol ink markers to add colors in, to add color into the painting. Now this little fawn, I'm not gonna lie, this was one of the harder ones that I have done. It took me so long to get this to feel like it was right. And I don't know if it's because of the color choice that I just wasn't feeling it, but I will say it did take me a long time. And you're gonna see that the video is gonna end, and then when you see the finished product, it looks a lot different because I kept going back to it and I just didn't turn on the cameras every time, but it was just bugging me so much, and I kept going back to it, kept going back to it until I got it to the point where I was happy with it. So you can see that I just do it little bits at a time. I add color, I take away color. I do have a reference photo that I'm looking at while I'm doing this, so I can get the darks in there correctly and the lights and the different proportions of the fawn. I do use a light table to trace the outline of all of the animals that I do so that I get them right. I don't just draw them freehand. I probably could, but I just don't want to. There's no need, right? This is a painting. It's not meant to be just like a freehand drawing. So I want it to look good, and I want it to have the right proportions. So I use the light table and an outline of the actual animal. So you can see I'm just going in, I'm adding colors, I'm taking away colors. Yeah, I this little fawn was little on the paper, so it's very, very, very fine details, and you just need a really light touch to get all of those details and all of those inks to go exactly where you want them. So if you're trying this, like I said, you don't need a lot of that isopropyl alcohol. Just a tiny, tiny bit is all you need. And it's important to keep it within your animal, because if it gets on that background, it's really hard to fix. Now you'll see that I completely changed the background on this one. And the reason why, I'll tell you right now, the reason why the background will be different at the end is because this little fawn, it just didn't feel right, because fawns don't really, they're not just hanging out in the open, right? They're usually hiding, and I just felt like it wasn't in a safe place. So I had to change the background, and I changed it. I mean, the colors are the same, but I used my little stamper tool and made it kind of snowy and you'll see, but I think it really helped the composition at the end. But right now I'm just putting in the fine details of the face and trying to get those colors in there also with that brown. Um, it was a challenge. This one was a super challenge. In the end, I liked it, but while I was doing it, it wasn't one that was making me so happy to do because usually they just come together so easily, and this one certainly did not. And that's going to happen, right? And I want you all to know that these are not meant to be art tutorials. They're not meant to be like a class or something. I'm just showing you my process and like rambling on and talking about it as I go. I will eventually make an art tutorial on how I do this, and you'll be able to find that on my. I have an art class and community forum called Epic Earth Arts that is free to join. And I encourage you to get on there and check it out. There's a lot of art tutorials on there. And I actually started alcohol inks by watching some of the art tutorials that are on there, the alcohol ink ones by my friend Jessica. She's so good at explaining the basics of alcohol inks and how they work and the properties. And she just tells you all the things. And without that, I would not be doing this. So I encourage you to get on there, epiceartharts.com. It's on the school platform. If you can't get there from epiceartharts.com, just go to school.com and search for Epic Earth Arts and then join. I would love to see you in there. Anyway, so you'll see now that I got out my light table and I put my outline underneath it so that I could get these little dots in the right places. I did not want to have just random dots. I thought that would look bad. So I wanted to make sure that I had them kind of in the right places for this little fawn. So, so I did that. So now I'm just kind of going through and putting in those details, just making sure it looks okay. After this, I still didn't like it. I didn't like that darkness under the chin there and his neck. So I did change that at the end, and you'll see it's different. And then just watch out. The background's going to be so different when you see the finished product. But yeah, it's coming up here in a second. All right, there you go. This one is called Lilac Lullaby. So beautiful, right? All right, thanks.